Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 10K Project. It's your girl, Cherie here. Want to say hello to everybody. We are the 10K Project. We are the largest community of small dollar investors who actively fund Black-owned businesses. Minimum investment is $100. People have called it Black Shark Tank meets Powernomics 2.0. So you are in the right place if you are looking to hear information about how you can raise money for your business. The law allows you to raise anywhere from $10,000 to $5 million for your business. So we're going to talk about that this evening. I am going to open up my YouTube and Facebook and all of that good stuff just to make sure that we don't have people in the chat in here asking questions. Please feel free to ask questions. We will go into as much detail as we possibly can. There's so much to know about how to raise money in this manner through equity crowdfunding, but we're going to at least give you an overview tonight. So give me 1 second. Let me just open up the Facebook here as well. Okay, Facebook's acting a little goofy on me. So let's see here. Okay, it's not showing up in Facebook. Odd, odd, odd. Sorry, everybody. Okay. Well, we may have to do this only on YouTube. Everybody on YouTube, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up for us. That way the algorithms can recognize us, see what we're doing, and see that you, I found my people on the Facebook page. I see y'all here. Yes, give us a thumbs up, please, on Facebook page. So glad to have all of you here. And on YouTube, again, don't forget to give us a thumbs up as well. Excited to see everybody tonight. Don't forget to share the stream, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Tonight is all about our entrepreneurs. If you are an entrepreneur looking to raise money for your business, you are in the right place. So what I'm going to do tonight is just give you an overview of how crowdfunding works. We have been helping companies raise money since March of 2021. We've had some success stories, quite a few success stories. They are on our website, and we are about to launch our course to help more entrepreneurs do the same thing. So because of that, we are here tonight to talk about, again, as an entrepreneur, how you are able to do that. I do have a presentation to share just because it's easier for me to tell you what is happening with the presentation. So let's do this here. I'm going to share my screen. And okay, so again, welcome. How to raise $10,000 to $5 million for your business is the topic of the evening. This is all about entrepreneurs who want to raise money in order to start, grow, and buy businesses. So how was the 10K project started? Where did all of this come from? And more importantly, how does it help you as an entrepreneur? So I have been a business plan writer for over a decade now. And I would write these business plans for all sorts of entrepreneurs. I had, all ethnicities. I've had both sexes. I've had people in different industries come to me and they would say, hey, Cherie, we want to raise money in order to fund this business, grow this business, et cetera. And the people that come to me, I always ask them, hey, if you are going to raise money, who are you going to raise the money from? And people from other cultures would say, I've got an uncle, I've got a cousin, I have a frat brother. There are people in my life. I literally was in a room with a gentleman who raised $600,000 in one night just from a presentation that I put together for him in order to launch his business. I've helped people raise anywhere from $10,000 literally to $20 million. And the Black entrepreneurs that I was working with was having a problem. And it wasn't because they didn't work hard. It wasn't because they didn't have great ideas or great hustle. It just was, they didn't have the networks. They didn't have the networks. It's super hard for Black entrepreneurs to get the funding that they need. So for 3 years, I started saying to this group of people, hey, if 10,000 of us got together and we put in $100 each, that's $1 million. We could start funding our own businesses. Because I, kind of heard it often from my Black entrepreneurs. I can't get funding anywhere. I can't get it. I can't get it. Right. So I start repeating this. And one day, Tawana, who is also on this screen, says in a meeting that we were having, we've been saying that for 3 years. When are you going to do something about it? And sometimes you got to be the change that you want to see. So I immediately said, oh no, I'm trying to give this idea to somebody else. And ultimately, she convinced me. She and the other people on the Zoom call said, hey, you know what? Let's all get in together and let's do this. So they became the original founding members of the 10K project. And we are here to help entrepreneurs get the funding that they deserve. And we are here to help investors as well, because a lot of our people don't know that this is an asset class that they can get into, just like crypto, just like tax liens, real estate, et cetera. So Tawana and I and our team are on a mission to educate the community with regards to this as an option for both entrepreneurs and investors. So there was a Morgan Stanley report that was done a while ago. And in it, it said that Black founders start off with about 1/3 of the capital of their counterparts, other ethnicities. And it talked about the fact that, most VCs are not sure if Black entrepreneurs are able to actually be successful. And I've heard other founders say this. We know that 1%, many of us know that 1% of venture capital goes to Black founders. Even though that number is rising, it's still very difficult for Black founders to get the money that they are looking for. So if we are starting off usually bootstrap and we're starting off with less funding, then it's harder for us to grow. But the other thing that the Morgan Stanley report said is that when our businesses are properly funded, we make just as much money as any other ethnically founded business. And that gives me hope, because we have a solution with regards to how we can get funding to our businesses. And that is through something called crowdfunding. So crowdfunding is the key for Black entrepreneurs who want to raise the capital that they're looking for. Crowdfunding is not new to the Black community. I grew up in the Black Baptist Church, the Building Fund. If anyone knows the Building Fund, shout out to the Building Fund. But for those of you who aren't familiar, pastor would stand up, pastor would say, hey, we need $10,000 for the roof, and we're going to do a special offering for the roof for the Building Fund. And, mother so-and-so, deacon so-and-so would dig in their pockets for the special love offering. Next thing you know, roof is paid for cash. That is crowdfunding in an essence. I mean, we've had rent parties, we have had graduation parties, we have had the civil rights movement. Dr. King was funded based on crowdfunding. It's not new to us. But what is new to us is being able, as regular, non-rich people, something called unaccredited investors. Unaccredited investors are now able to start funding companies in exchange for shares or equity or partial ownership in the business. And it may be just a minority share of ownership in the business, but when we come together, for example, let's say 10,000 of us come together and we each put in $100 into a business, that's $1 million. You still, as an entrepreneur, get to control your company. And if the business does well, if you are acquired, for example, if you do an IPO, if you make so much money that you're able to do distribution checks, give distribution checks, then the crowd of investors win. That's the really big thing. It ends up being a win-win. We also know that with crowdfunding, if you raise $1 million, you're most likely going to hire people. Well, what if you also hire from within the community, within the 10K community, within the community at large? That is a win as well. That helps us increase our economic base. So there are different types of crowdfunding that's available. The first is donation-based crowdfunding. So most of us have heard of GoFundMe. That is crowdfunding. That's donation-based crowdfunding. That's not the type of crowdfunding the 10K Project does, but it is available for even businesses. Rewards-based crowdfunding is another option. So let's say that you have a product or you are creating a prototype of a product. You can do rewards-based crowdfunding. So people do not get equity or shares in your business and you don't have to pay them back. Instead, they get a product that you have. So we've seen people do all sorts of rewards-based crowdfunding, from potato salad to different types of products, to the Oculus goggles, which were ultimately sold to Facebook in 2014, I think is 2014, for $2 billion. So rewards-based crowdfunding, happens for all sorts of businesses. Again, the 10K Project does not do rewards-based crowdfunding. We do the bottom two. So debt-based crowdfunding. So you may not want to sell shares in your business. You may decide you want to do a debt deal. A debt deal basically means, hey, I'm going to give you, you loan money to my company and I will give you X percentage, and we expect the loan to be paid off in Y amount of time. So there are what's something called crowdfunding portals that only focus on debt deals. And, you are able to do the research on that, or we have something that we're sharing later on where you'll be able to get free access to a lot more of this information with regards to the debt-based crowdfunding, and you're able to see how debt-based crowdfunding works. The fourth thing that we have here is equity-based crowdfunding. So that is, you have shares in your company, you agree to sell a certain number of shares or a certain percentage of shares in exchange for equity in your company. So people get to buy, for example, to make the math simple, you say your shares are worth 50 cents each and somebody gives you $100, they have just bought 200 shares in your company. So these are all different types of crowdfunding. Again, the 10K Project only focuses on debt and equity-based crowdfunding. Doesn't mean that the other two are wrong. You need to think about your scenario specifically and figure out which one works best for you and your situation. So how does this work legally? This is governed by the Securities and Exchange Commission and FINRA, the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. This protects you as the entrepreneur and it protects the investor. And this was originally set up by President Obama in his administration, the second administration that he had, through the Jobs Act of 2012. So before the Jobs Act of 2012, you as an entrepreneur were not able to ask, let's say, 50,000 of us to put in $100 each into your business. That was illegal. You had to go to people who were accredited investors, or you had to go to family and friends, and it kind of had to be like a super hush hush type of thing. But the law changed in 2012, and it was actually implemented in March of 2016. So uh, what this law did was it said, okay, if you go through the SEC and FINRA, you can raise up to $5 million from both accredited, meaning rich, and I'm putting rich in quotes, and unaccredited, meaning regular people, investors. So you are so only 2 to 3% of the country is truly an accredited investor. And an accredited investor means somebody who makes over 200,000 a year by themselves, 300,000 a year as a couple, or has $1 million net worth excluding their primary residence. That's very few people that have that. So now what this has done is it has opened up your ability to raise money from the masses. Again, it has to be done through the SEC and FINRA. You cannot post an ad on Facebook tomorrow saying, hey, I'm raising money, from everybody out there, send it to my PayPal. No, you don't want to do that. That is illegal. But there is a way for you to do this in a legal manner that, again, protects the investor and it protects you as the entrepreneur. So the other great thing is if your business does well, then the crowd gets to share in the profits, meaning the community. We have heard of these companies that they, trudge along, and then all of a sudden we start, using it. We make it popular. We're telling everybody about it, and we don't get shares in the company. Well, now this is an opportunity for us to get shares in the company and to profit from our innovation. If your business doesn't do well, for example, that's okay too. Then we as investors only lose what we have put into the business. So it ends up being a win-win for both you, again, as the entrepreneur, and us as investors. So what can you use money for? All sorts of stuff. Let's say you want to hire people. Let's say you want to do some marketing. You may want to create some packaging so that you can get into Target or Walmart. You may want to get some retail space or office space or industrial space. Equipment, real estate acquisitions, people have done real estate development, all sorts of things you're able to use the money for. So let's talk about some stats. What does this really look like? The average campaign lasts about 9 weeks. Now, there is some prep time with regards to doing a crowdfunding campaign. So we don't want to make it seem like it's just 9 weeks, but the campaign that is live, the average live campaign lasts about 9 weeks. The average equity crowdfunding raise in 2020 was 275,000. Again, you can raise up to 5 million. Now, in 2020, the cap was 1,070,000. But you're going to start, in my opinion, seeing this number raise from 275,000 to more. And there have been Black entrepreneurs, a couple of them, that have raised the $5 million. So we are, as a people, we are starting to be successful with this. And crowdfunding each year thus far brings about $17.2 billion in North America. This is the new way. The old way was going to the bank, begging a rich person, etc. This is the new way of us actually getting our businesses funded. So you may be asking yourself if you're eligible to get funding. Most people are. There are some industries that are harder to get funding for, but most people are. The great thing about crowdfunding is it doesn't matter what your credit is. It doesn't matter if you don't have 20% like the bank requires to put down on, on a loan or on a piece of property. One of the great things about crowdfunding is it strips those issues from you. Um, it does cost a little bit of money in order for you to launch your crowdfunding campaign. You have to be accepted by a portal. You may have to hire an SEC attorney in order to help you put some of the forms together for the SEC. Depending on how much you're raising, you may need an accountant to help you with your financials. So there are some upfront costs. However, you can, again, raise up to $5 million for your business. So again, what do you need to succeed? You need 5 primary things. The first is you're going to need a winning crowdfunding campaign plan. There is no crowdfunding campaign that has been successful without a plan that is strategic and that is properly executed. The second thing you're going to need is you're going to need a knowledgeable team who understands the legal compliance. Again, you're dealing with the SEC, you're dealing with FINRA. There are certain rules that you have to follow. Otherwise, you could end up in very, very big trouble. You are going to need a legally approved and compliant crowdfunding platform. You can't just post on Facebook, hey, send money to my PayPal. No, it has to go through a portal. Okay. The portals, if you wanted to know where those portals are listed, they are on the SEC website. You can put in SEC equity crowdfunding portals into Google and you are able to find them. There are over 70. Some of the portals are general. Some of them are very niche and specific. So you'll have to take your time looking through them in order to see which ones are best for you. If you become, one of the focus group members for our course, which is going to be free for a few people to take a sneak peek and give us some feedback, we'll talk a little bit more about the crowdfunding portals and which ones most of our entrepreneurs come from, and some of the things that they've told us with regards to which portals are optimal for what situations. You will need an expert to guide you through your campaign. If you want to be successful, it will require you to have somebody who knows the ropes and can say, okay, these are the best practices that you need in order to succeed. And the last thing you're going to need are investors. So if you feel like you already have investors, great. If you feel like you need access to more investors, that's where the 10K project comes in. We are the largest community of Black investors who actively fund Black-owned businesses through equity crowdfunding and debt crowdfunding. We have a little under 2,000 investors right now, but we are quickly getting there, and we're going to blow through that. We have a couple of partnerships that we're working on that when they materialize, because it's a when and not an if, we're going to really get out to the masses. And most of all, we just come together every week in order to hear something called a Bet on Black pitch. It's similar to a Shark Tank style pitch, but it's so much more. We spend time, the first 15 to 30 minutes on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. We spend the first 15 to 30 minutes hearing from the entrepreneur. They give us a presentation about their business, their investment opportunity, where they are in the business, where they're going. And then for the final or remaining period of time, the investors get to ask that founder or entrepreneur questions. And Tawana does not leave until all the questions are asked and answered. This is a time for you to really get to know that entrepreneur, and it's a time for you as an entrepreneur to get to know your investors as well, get feedback from them, etc. This is not, the shark infested waters like Shark Tank. This is a place of, love and harmony and things like that. But the 10K project is, for many of you, one of the best places that you will come to find investors. And our goal is to get 1 million investors, active investors in our network. And I believe we're going to do that. We're going to do that in the next couple of years. So again, we are Black Shark Tank meets Powernomics. We bring 3 groups of people together. The first are investors that have $100 or more to fund a business. And we come every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern time right now to a Bet on Black pitch. So the second group of people that we bring together are entrepreneurs like you that are raising anywhere from $10,000 to $5 million through debt or equity crowdfunding. And then the third group of people are experts. So let's say we raise $1 million for you. You are going to need to most likely hire people, whether you're hiring them for full-time work, part-time work, contract work. You may need a CPA, an attorney, a coder, some construction done, graphic design, etc. Where do you go once you have raised this money? Wouldn't it be great if we were able to extend the circulation of the Black dollar from 6 hours to well beyond 6 hours? The way that we do that is, again, through the 10K project. So once you've raised your money, if you need new hires, if you need assistance with something, we want you to consider coming back to the 10K project and asking for that. We have an expert directory. All of our members, all of the investors get an opportunity to add themselves to the expert directory. They put a description in there. You're able to search just like you're on Google. You're able to find somebody to assist you. And when an investor is also an expert that you're working in, they have a vested interest in making sure that your business is successful as possible. So you may also, and I was speaking with an entrepreneur earlier today about this, you may also be an entrepreneur today, an investor in somebody else's campaign tomorrow, and a board member, AKA expert, on day number 3 for somebody else's business. This is the ecosystem we're really able to put together here. And we are powerful when we come together. We're not looking for everybody here. We're looking for the people who are like, you know what? I believe in this. I believe that I have something to add, and I believe that this is something that can work. So we do have a course that's coming out. It's starting next month. I'm doing some final things right now with it. And we want to open it up to a focus group of people to review the course at no charge and give us feedback. If you want to be considered for that, it goes through in a lot more detail how to launch a successful equity crowdfunding campaign. In fact, it's called Road to Crowdfunding is the name of the course. Then what I need you to do is go to the10kproject.com/entrepreneurs and just fill out that information there. What it's going to do is it's going to tag you in our database as an entrepreneur. And then when the course opens up and the focus group opens up, we will send you an email with regards to how to apply to be one of our focus group testers. Again, the10kproject.com/entrepreneurs, the10kproject.com/entrepreneurs. Okay, I am going to stop my screen share and I'm going to come here to YouTube. Tawana is in YouTube saying, hello, everyone. Hello, Tawana. Mr. Leisure saying, look good. Thanks for the information. You are most welcome. Everybody in YouTube, don't forget to thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We have a few people watching in Facebook, but I don't see any questions there. If you all have questions, let me know. Joshua, I see Joshua saying hello in YouTube, hello, Joshua. Hope you are well. Yeah, I just wanted to come on today. We're going to do this session a lot, letting everybody know. Dominica is also on YouTube. Hello, Dominica. Hope you're doing well. If you all have questions, definitely let me know. But this is the thing. We are serious about bringing these three groups of people together. If people want to raise money, then there's a path for you. If people want to be an investor, there's a path for you within the 10K project. And if you want to be an expert, there's a path for you. And so many of our entrepreneurs that have done the Bet on Black pitches are so appreciative of the fact that we have helped them with finding investors. There are things that they are not able to do legally that we are able to do because we're not a portal. We don't have those restrictions. So one of the big things that our community needs is a lot of education with regards to this being an option, with regards to how to put together what they do is they put together a portfolio with regards to what they're listening for within your pitches, et cetera. If we were a portal, we wouldn't be able to do that. If, they're just restrictions, legal restrictions. So, and even the entrepreneurs have certain things they're not able to say and certain things they're not able to do. Now, one thing we don't do is we don't tell anybody how to invest their money. And we don't train except for just showing people where your campaign is and how to find it, giving them the link during your Bet on Black pitch and showing them where the Form C is. The Form C is the SEC required information. Dr. Artism is saying invest in an inventor. We've had inventors come on. We've had, all sorts of inventors, everything from tech to natural hair care, shoe manufacturer, etc. So we definitely believe in the Black inventor. We know that we've had so many Black inventors who were not able to capitalize on their inventions. The 10K project is the way that we are able to do it. So yes, we absolutely thank you, Dr. Artism, for saying that. Going back to what I was saying, someone's asking how much is the minimum to invest, Mr. Leisure? So for an investor, the minimum is $100. It depends though on the entrepreneur and what they've set their minimum. So some entrepreneurs have a minimum of $200 or $250 or $149. We've seen one at $500. We saw another one at $1,000. So it does depend on the entrepreneur, but I would say 80% of them are $100, which for most of us is doable. Tawana, my Tawana, she also tries to make sure that the campaign is open for at least a month after you have seen the Bet on Black pitch. That way, if you need another pay cycle to come before you're able to invest in something you really like, that you have time to do so. So she really does work very, very hard with regards to scheduling these entrepreneurs, looking at their campaign. She can't 100% vet, but she does talk with all of them. And she does look through all of their stuff, pretty much meticulously. So Dominica is saying, yes, I've invested in a couple of ventures. Love this platform. Thank you, Dominica. Thank you so much. We've had entrepreneurs ask other entrepreneurs, are we legit? And entrepreneurs are starting to send each other to us. So we're grateful for that. We have on our website, the10kproject.com. If you go to the testimonials page, you will see founders, entrepreneur testimonials as well. We're adding more pretty much every week. Most of them are videos, so you get to see and hear from them. Some of them are in written form. We're adding more. But we're here to change the world. We're here to change the world. We're here to change the game. And I will say this, and I've been saying it continuously. I believe that the 10K project will be the place that raises $5 million for an entrepreneur in 24 to 72 hours. When we do that about 3 to 5 times, companies are going to really start looking at us. Venture capital firms are really going to start looking at us. They're going to be like, whoo, what's happening over there? Change is going to come from the ground up. It's not coming from Biden. It's not coming from Kamala. Yeah, I'm going to get political. It's not coming from Trump. It's not coming from Larry Elder. I don't, no offense to anybody who really loves these people, right? It's not coming from your favorite celebrity. It ain't coming from Jay-Z and Beyonce. Yeah, I know the Beehive may get me, but that's okay. I know that, for example, Beyonce did her grants and things like that. That's great, but real change is going to come from the bottom up. Real change is coming from us. It's coming from us. So that is what I have to say this evening. Mr. Leisure saying, thank you, can't wait to invest. So Mr. Leisure, if you want to invest, come to the10kproject.com and you can look through the entire website, see our testimonials, all of that, and then click on become a member. And you are able to become a member this evening if you wish. The10kproject.com. Dominica is giving me the LOL. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'll do a rant one day, a true one, but that's not, not today for this, but yeah, we are here to change the world, change the game. Yeah, Mr. Leisure, I'm not going to say that over the loudspeaker here, but we can be better than all of them. We can be better than all of them, and we will be. So with that, again, if you're an entrepreneur, you want to be considered for our focus group, the10kproject.com/entrepreneurs. Just come, fill in whatever slot you are. If you started a campaign, if you haven't, it doesn't matter. All it's going to do is tag you in our system as an entrepreneur so that when we're ready to go, which is going to be in about 3 weeks, you are able to get an alert letting you know how to apply, things like that. And then you get the free sneak peek at the course. You get to give us feedback and you get all the information and the good stuff for free. So with that, thank you everybody for being here. And I will see you all at the Bet on Black pitch later in the night. Take care, everybody.